viewers! I am your local newscaster, Dads Jr., and you are watching to DZNF News. Learning is in session, and it is the very first edition of our lesson via television. Tune in to our topic, Air Mass and Fronts, that predicts and explains our weather for today and to the future. Let us lend our eyes and ears as we will watch the think talk of our very own Valerie Munoz.
Everybody make some TikTok.
Are you confused about the sudden changes of our weather? Like today, it's a very hot sunny day, yet rain and storm have suddenly preceded. How is that possible?
Sudden changes of our weather is already usual to us, and therefore is deemed normal. Yes, and in fact, these changes can be explained scientifically through science.
And this is when air mass and fronts will be introduced. But before that, let us get to know the two types of air pressure, since these are usually found on all weather maps and forecasts.
High and low pressure enable us to discover the direction of the strength of the wind and areas of high and low pressure. Where in areas of high pressure, the wind tends to move into a clockwise direction and in an outward motion, of which the air pressure is higher than the surrounding areas. What's more important here is the relative change in the pressure. When the air pressure is high, the air starts to sink down to the surface. As this happens, the air becomes warmed up, which prevents the formation of clouds. That's why an area of high pressure is associated with good weather. In areas of low pressure, the wind tends to move into a counterclockwise direction and in an inward motion, of which the air pressure is lower than its surrounding areas. Low pressure is then created in areas where the air is rising. When the warm air starts to rise, it cools down in the atmosphere, which can trigger the condensation of vapor and formation of clouds, which results to rainstorms and other precipitations, and also the reason why low pressure is associated with bad weather.
Now for the air mass and fronts.
Front is the boundary where two air masses clash and weather like snow occurs. So what is this air mass? Air mass is a large body of air that has the same temperature and moisture level throughout, of which there are 4 types of air masses in the United States, and each one carries its own temperature and amount of moisture level, where there are 2 cold and warm air masses. The 2 cold air masses are the maritime polar and continental polar, while the 2 warm air masses are the maritime tropical air mass and continental tropical air mass. And when a cold air mass clashes with a warm air mass, it creates the front. Like for this snowball, let's say that this snowball is a cold air mass and you are a warm air mass. When you both clash together, a front will be made, and the ball will burst, giving off precipitation like snow. And this snowstorm is a result of the cold front. Cold front happens when cold air mass pushes the warm air mass up, and a big puffy clouds called cumulus clouds form, resulting to heavy rain, thunderstorms, and snow. A warm front then happens when warm air mass attack the cold air mass, slowly climbing up over it. As the warm air mass passes over the cold air mass, long, thin stratus clouds stretch out across the sky. A warm front could cause rain and snow too, but it is light and steady, unlike the cold front that gives heavy and stormy weather. So a cold front means a pretty crazy bad weather, and a warm front means it still might rain or snow, but it won't be so intense as to the cold front.